There before you give me butterflies, it makes Delicate getting the first pick. Oh, get 3, Pyro, get 3 with the...
Wade Kid putting on a clinic. Whole team's down. Oh!
Experience tranquility.
"17 weeks ago, we started the 7th season of the Overwatch Tranquility Community Tournament. 72 teams across 3 divisions began their journey to try and earn the title of Overwatch Tranquility Champion. So far this week, we've seen 2 incredible matches produce champions in the Harmony and Transcendence tiers, and tonight we wrap up the week crowning our Discord tier champion. Good evening, everybody. My name is Bowsy, and I'm joined here by Gizmo Charmander on the cast and Cavalier on the production as we bring you coverage of tonight's Discord tier Grand Finals match between Reminiscence and Paradise Lost.
Whew. Man, it has been a season. And
Definitely
you know what though, this is the tier I played in this season, so I'm very thrilled to be casting it, especially with you, Bowsy. It's always a privilege to cast with you. But my real question is tonight, will the Nostalgia Org be able to pull off a Marsupial Org kind of feat? The Harmony tier was taken by the Flashbacks, which is in the same organization as Reminiscence, and last season in season 6, the Koala Kings and the Discord tier team for the Marsupials was able to take that, both the Discord and the Harmony tier. So I think Reminiscence has a really good shot tonight, but Paradise Lost, I mean, they've been looking pretty awesome these last few weeks. What do you think?
Yeah, Reminiscence, in the looking into this match as we were coming into today, Reminiscence looked like the favorite. They have not lost a map since week 3 of the tournament, and the last time these 2 teams faced off, which was 3 weeks ago, Reminiscence got the full 3-0 sweep over Paradise Lost. So Reminiscence has had a big advantage throughout the entire playoffs and the entire season, but Paradise Lost last week, they took home a 4-3 victory over the Quokka Queens, which many people were saying was one of the other top teams. Not to mention, Quokka Queens are the only team to take maps off of Reminiscence this season. So Paradise Lost are looking like a scary dark horse as usual. They only have one obstacle in between them and the championship, however, and that's Reminiscence.
Yeah, it's going to be very interesting to see here. We're going to start on Lijiang Tower. Reminiscence being the higher seed does get to choose the first map here tonight. And I got to say, this lineup for them with Blood Hungry and DNA on the tank lineup. I mean, Blood Hungry is just an amazing main tank. And you have Seraph. Oh my goodness. One of my many children here in Trank. And Asdo, just 2 absolutely cracked out of their mind DPS. And the support line that just does an amazing job keeping a feeder like Blood Hungry is. But Paradise Lost, I mean, whew. They've definitely proven that they belong here. And they've also shown, I think, everyone here in Tranquility that, the Nostalgia Org that Capital runs isn't as scary as they should seem. If they're able to take down a powerhouse like the Quokka Queens, there's no reason why tonight they can't take us to a map 7. And I know there's someone in chat who's probably saying we're going to have the Gizmo curse tonight. And for those of you who don't know, last season, literally every postseason game I casted, we went to like a map 8 or 9. So you know what? It's the last game of the season. I won't be mad. I won't be happy, but I won't be mad if we go there. I think it'd be a great way to end the night. But we're here on Lijiang Tower. We're on Night Market, so we should see that Symmetric come out. Now the difference between the two is, I don't know if Magic Turtle's going to stay on this Roadhog here, but the Reaper versus the Mei here. You got quick high damage versus Reinhardt has to keep his shield up a lot more. So I wonder what it's going to be. Is it going to be Neo's Reaper, or is it going to be Asdo's Mei? That's going to be the difference in this first fight.
Oh, the big difference in the fight will be the teleporter timing, however. Seraph gets the TP a little bit off, and Glitch gets caught on the wrong side of the wall. Culture able to eliminate them with that hammer on the Reinhardt, and now Paradise Lost looking like they're going to be sitting comfortable here on the point as the control point is about to unlock here. Reminiscence is just waiting for all their players to come back, and they might be able to try and push in here. But for now, Paradise Lost is going to get the first cap.
Yeah, that was just unfortunate timing by Seraph. Sometimes that window can be a little tricky to get the teleporter off. You gotta be careful, folks. You gotta let your Symmetra have free reign and not bump into them. Otherwise, they'll lose the spot, like we saw happen to Seraph right there. And I mean, you know, Night Market, it is all about getting that point possession first, but at the same time, if you make the right switches and stuff, it could be different. So Asdo not really set up for the Mei right now, but hey, still good walls.
Big bait coming out from Seraph. They put the TP on the top, but Reminiscence didn't take it all, and Magic Turtle loses his life for it. So now Reminiscence are going to be able to make the engage here. The lamp is used very early coming out here from Ira, but Culture dies to the hands of Asdo in the aftermath. And just like that, Reminiscence are starting to clean up the rest of the field. Those final kills onto Neo, Ira, and Rigmadon will certify them here, the cap on the objective. 42% in the bank here for Paradise Lost, but Reminiscence will start taking up their percentage.
Yeah, I think Lars popping out the wall there is pretty much kind of like a Hail Mary play there. They're not switching off. I honestly expected, you know, maybe switch over but try to match the Mei right now, but nah, they're going to stick on this Symmetra here. So we'll see how this rolls out for them, not having the wall and only window.
They got the window's placed, but the wall from Asdo able to block off any sort of fire strike damage that could go through that. Now the wall comes out from Seraph, and the blizzard from Asdo is absolutely massive. It grabs two people inside of it, including the main tank and Neo on that Reaper, but still able to stay alive. Really good support play coming out here from Paradise Lost. They had to invest that sound barrier from Rigmadon. Looks like Paradise Lost are just going to be trying to restabilize here, but Magic Turtle losing his mech is going to be massive. The Shadow from Culture is a whiff. Blood Hungry able to get two with his, and now the Reminiscence starting to pile right on top of Paradise Lost. They will be winning this fight, and that charge onto Ira is just a slap in the face. Paradise Lost, they have lost the advantage here in the control, and now Reminiscence are still leading the charge.
Yeah, and that's actually a really big play coming out from Reminiscence. They use Shatter, they use Blizzard, but they have Bomb coming up, they have their beat, and they have their window here. So they've got a really huge ult advantage, and honestly, Asdo proven to be the mad lad himself, just jumping right into the team, no, you know, care in the world, just throwing the Blizzard.
TP into the back here for Paradise Lost, and the window's already invested here from Glitch on the side of Reminiscence. Paradise Lost looking for their chance to engage, and they're going to be using that window coming out, or the wall coming out here from Lost to try and push in. The window also invested here from Ira. Now Culture has made his way onto the point. The rest of Reminiscence are just trying to bait out any sort of kills they can. Oh, but Lucy tries to go for the beat and ends up getting killed by Neo. Is able to get the kill into Ira, however, so it's still winnable here for Reminiscence, and Neo is now dead to the hands of Seraph. Paradise Lost need a miracle play here, and with no main heal on the board right now, they're just hoping to try and stay alive here with Rigmadon on that Lucio. You do have that bomb coming out here from Magic Turtle, and he's going to be able to use it here on the point, but will die in the aftermath. 99% here for Reminiscence. The bomb comes out from DNA, unable to get any picks, but is still able to separate the rest of Paradise Lost, and looks like with that Blizzard from Aslo, you're going to be seeing Paradise Lost do this, but a Shatter coming out from Culture, able to get two with Neo's Death Blossom as well. Blood Hungry over gets two with the Fire Strike, gets a third on the Culture, but that Shatter, and Reminiscence able to clean up the fight. They will be winning Lijiang Night Market. They get the first point in the series.
Yeah, you know what? I think it really did come down to whether or not you're running the Mei or Reaper there. It's just the difference in pressure with a Mei versus a Reaper can be night and day. If your Reinhardt can safely hold up his shield while the, you know, Symmetra is charging up to level 3 beam, plus you have the Mei trying to freeze the other Reinhardt, it just makes it so much harder where, you know, all the Reaper's doing is trying to break that shield. It's not really going to help too much there. Death Blossom was amazing, but Blood Hungry, my goodness, this man on the Reinhardt, oh, what a beautiful 180 onto the window to get the double Fire Strike, and then just get 180 right back just to, you know, NTD just a little bit there with that Shatter to, you know, clutch it up there for Reminiscence.
Been God indeed Blood Hungry, but we will no longer be seeing him on that Reinhardt. Instead, Paradise Lost are coming out with the 6-man dive composition here. On the side of Paradise Lost, or Reminiscence is coming out with the 6-man dive. Paradise Lost are coming out with their signature ball diva composition. Culture, a very talented Wrecking Ball player, unfortunately gets hacked here by Asdo and gets burnt down immediately. That's what happens when you cast your curse here in Tranquility, ladies and gentlemen. But we will be seeing now Reminiscence. They will be getting a point establishment on this point. All of the rest of Paradise Lost is backed stacked up, and they've already lost 3 people in this fight. So Reminiscence will get the first cap here on Lijiang Garden, and Paradise Lost sent back to the drawing board.
Yeah, you know what? Culture is an amazing wrecking ball for sure, but going up against the Sigma is going to be very hard, especially since they're not running the Tracer, they're running the Reaper. It just means as soon as Culture gets hacked, they're destined just to fall as quick as we saw. So, you know, as much as this is kind of their go-to, they might want to think about maybe switching over to either a Brawl here, or maybe even switch over to a Winston just to have a little more, you know, survivability against this Reaper here, because Seraph is just tearing it up.
The Sombra from Asdo helping him in that process with those hacks onto Culture. And Lucy gets another boop in this map, this time under Rigmadon, and Seraph cleans up the rest of the fight here for Reminiscence. 33% here for Reminiscence. They're taking up very well, and Paradise Lost, they do have this Pulse Bomb online, but they need to seek answers quickly.
Yeah, you know, but you know the good news is they did take 2 really quick fights there, so they still have time to either build up these ults or change the comp and still have a chance for 2 like solid fights here. Now Neo's not on that EMP, so right now they got to worry about Asdo throwing the EMP, but after that EMP comes out, it should be an easy turnaround once Neo gets the EMP and you can counterplay and hopefully get some picks. So here it comes.
Ooh, goes straight for the supports. Rigmadon gets burnt immediately by DNA, and Asdo able to get the kill onto Ira. And now Paradise Lost, they're down both of their supports. They do have Magic Turtle and Losh on the point, trying to make sure that they can contest it a little bit, but unfortunately, Magic Turtle will be sent to the pit and Losh back to spawn. Paradise Lost, once again, they have to reset, and now they're in last 5 territory, Gizmo.
Yeah, but you know what? It was kind of a good fight for them because you had Seraph pop the Death Blossom along with Glitch popping the Coalescence. The only things they have coming on them is Bomb and Primal, and Bomb and Primal's not really that great here, and here comes the EMP.
Yeah, it's gonna go straight onto both tanks. The beat from Lucy there, be able to cancel it out, but Seraph has already gotten 2. Lucy gets another boop, this time on the Rigmadon. Again, Lucy's just been a Lucio god thus far, and now Blood Hungry gonna return the favor to Ira with that primal boop up. Reminiscence looking very clean right now. They will be throwing that bomb in for extra measure and gets the kill on the Rigmadon as he's exiting. Culture using the mines here on the point, trying to bring it back here for the side of Paradise Lost, but all that's left is Losh here on this Tracer. He won't be able to get anything with that. The bomb comes out here from Magic Turtle, unable to get anything, and that is going to be a clean sweep here on Lijiang Garden. Reminiscence will take the first map in the series.
Yeah, and showing exactly why they are #1 in Discord tier this season. I mean, just a strong startup. The tank line to Lucy getting, what, 4 boops, I believe? And they weren't just like, you know, getting just a player, they were getting really amazing picks there. They were able to take care of the Baptiste, which made this fight right here that Blood Hungry just turned around when it looked like it was finally going to go the way of Paradise Lost. But because the Bat was gone so quickly, there was just no way they were going to survive with all the ults coming up from Reminiscence. It is so far, Reminiscence is just looking amazing. But, you know, I can't say they look perfect. Like I said, that fight right before then, it looked like they kind of overcommitted ults. But luckily for them, Paradise didn't have the ults to really fight back in the next fight. All they had was the EMP, and without some follow-up, it makes it very hard, especially if you're running the ball instead of a Winston in that kind of like divey 6-man kind of position. Winston can dive instantly, where ball kind of has to set up to get a nice pile driver or, you know, a clean roll through. So that's one thing that people need to think about here when they're running the 6-man or when they're running like a ball Sombra comp. You got to be able to set up, and they just didn't have the time. So the overcommitment ults on Reminiscence, perfectly fine.
Yeah, and really, in Reddit Lucio gods, we trust here for Lucy, especially on those 2 maps of Lijiang Garden. But now, Paradise Lost will get the map choice going into map number 2. It will be our 2CP map. They get a choice between both Skya Industries, Temple of Anubis, and Hanamura, so we'll see what map they decide to choose on and if they decide to make any sort of swaps coming in here. But definitely some interesting compositions we've seen here so far from Paradise Lost. What I find it interesting is, for the first time, we've seen Magic Turtle starting on the tank line for this team, and for the most part, we've really been seeing Culture and Azukari on the tank line. Culture's usually run the ball, Azukari has run the Winston, but now they decide to switch it up. They're running that Diva more with Magic Turtle in the lineup. And as I say that, Magic Turtle is going to be subbed out for this next map, as Paradise Lost has chosen Temple of Anubis. But do you think there's any sort of strategy that they were trying to play there on Lijiang Garden that just didn't work out?
You know, maybe what they've been doing in scrims, this would be my assumption, is they've been running Magic Turtle on that Diva, right? Maybe Azukari is not as great a Diva, and Magic Turtle just happens to have a little more technique and finesse with it. And so they were trying it out. Plus, you know, this is a team that they saw 3 weeks ago, right? So they can't come out with the same strategy because the same result's going to happen. You know, definition of insanity right there. So they tried something up. You know, The first map on Night Market, it didn't look terrible, but now when you look at Gardens, it was like, ooh, was it the right choice? But hey, you know what? Now they got leeway because now they can put Azukari in, and that's one less map that they have to worry about Magic has to play for. So you probably want to give that off tank a little rest in between matches because they have, unlike Reminiscence, they have that option to like rest people, and they're hoping for the long game, not a short game here. Like I said, we could see a map 7, we could go 8. You never know. So it's very important to be able to switch out these players so that way they're mentally ready and all that. And maybe, who knows, maybe Azukari kind of didn't get a good enough warm up, so they wanted like a match warm up or something. We don't get to see the bench while we're in game, so who knows what was going on there. But we're coming up on Anubis, and we see a double shield and a dive. And actually, this dive is to me kind of interesting. And here we are. We're talking about the ball Winston here. So you gotta let the ball set up, and Winston has no protection once he dives in. So going up against a double shield with a Cassidy and a Torb, and not to mention that support character we like to call Brigitte, which we all know I love and cherish above all other characters. It's going to be a very difficult dive for them. I think Reminiscence just paid attention, took down the little notes when they played them 3 weeks ago, so they're ready for them here. So it's going to come down to how much pressure Lars can set up to keep Culture from getting just CC'd, and Azukari on the follow-up on the dives.
I'm so sorry for Asdo. I just saw him whiff his turret 3 times in a row, but we will be seeing the Cassidy Torb coming out here from the side of Reminiscence. The dive comes in early here, however, from Azukari and Culture. Everybody from Reminiscence booped off to the low ground, and that lamp invested early here from Glitch, but Reminiscence will be able to stabilize, and they will get the kill onto Azukari. Concept also will get the kill on a Neo. Concept was subbed in this map for Seraph, so we will be seeing him get a fresh blood here in the second map, but you do see now Reminiscence, they're going to be able to stabilize. Paradise Lost. Now they're starting to push in. Lost is able to get the kill onto Concept very early, but Culture is just stunned and booped out of oblivion. As they're able to get 2 kills in this fight now, but Paradise Lost is starting to push in a bit. Does Paradise Lost invest into this fight, however, considering they're down 3?
I'm going to have to give credit to DNA right there. Keeping Blood Hungry up. I mean, you had Lars right above him with that Mercy Pocket, and Anti in half health with no Fortify. Just DNA got the shield right in time, but you know what? Paradise Lost has that point presence because they got the closer spawn here on the 2 CP map first point.
Yeah, Neo also on his signature Hanzo, and Paradise Lost just cleaning up the field. Blood Hungry, Lucy, Concept all falling to the hands of Paradise Lost, and with that, Paradise Lost will be getting this first objective here on Temple of Anubis. They will be going in to second point and trying to take that second point here. As Reminiscence, they're going to be setting up on the defense over there.
Not to mention, even with the switch over to the Hanzo as early as they did, they already have 4 ults. Come up on a 5th, and honestly, it won't take Neo long to get that 6th ult. So, if they play their cards right and space them out, they should be able to cap with a decent amount of time here on Anubis, which is actually massive because everyone knows, I love to say it, 2 CP is not about how you finish, it's how much, it's not about the time, it's about how you finish.
Barrage, Nano Boost, Mines, Kitchen Sink coming out here from the side of Paradise Lost, and looks like they are going to be able to get this first tick here on the second point. They were able to do a very clean engage with all of their ults and made it work in the end. You will be seeing Lucy and Glitch try to come out here on the stall, but they will not be able to get any sort of value. That Dragon Strike from Neo there to just clean up the rest of the field, make sure to get any sort of final presence. DNA will be able to stall it out for Asdo here, who's coming back on the Doomfist, but Concept gets killed here by Azukari. Neo does die to the hands of Blood Hungry on that Reinhardt now, but still, you do see Paradise Lost in the advantage. Asdo dies to the hands of Rigmadon, and just like that, it looks like Paradise Lost, they're going to be able to take this point. All they need to do is clean up these stragglers of Blood Hungry and Lucy, and they're going to be getting that second objective quite soon here.
Yeah, as you say that, though, we got to remember it is 2 CP, which means it is the mother of stalls map, and until they take out Lucy, it's just going to be going back and forth. But, I mean, DNA now, oh, it's insane. And another
build up another barrage!
And Minefield as well.
Yep, those ults were used at the beginning of the fight, and now they have been reused in this fight. This fight has just been staggering on for a while, and that Nano was also used again in the same fight. Paradise Lost is just doing an ult any percent right now, and they're going to be getting 3 minutes and 45 seconds in the time bank after capping that second point. Great cap there from Paradise Lost. They will have to force Reminiscence to overtime rounds.
Yeah. Reminiscence there, what they needed to do instead of worrying so much about the point. Yeah, I mean, obviously there was only one more take to go, so they had to make sure someone had. But I think it was I can't remember if it was Asdo or Concept that was on the Doomfist there at the end, but whoever was on the Doomfist could have tried to force the Ana because oh my goodness, the pocket was just insane. You can out damage a Mercy pocket, but when you have the combination of an Ana nade and then the Ana also applying heals on top of it, no one's going down. And I mean, we saw it. Azakari never went down at all. They're able to get culture, but Azakari was able to survive so long on the monkey. We almost saw them get all their ults once again, and the fight was dragged so long. So it was a good stall coming out from Reminiscence, but it wasn't the best, obviously, because now we have 3 minutes and 45 seconds for Paradise Lost. But you know what? 2CP, once again, it's not about how much time you have on the bank, it's about how you finish. I've seen teams plenty of times have 3+ minutes and they're overconfident and they let it go. And Reminiscence is a really good team, so they could come out with a minute and still cap the first point and even get a tick or the second point. So, we're going to have to really see how this defense comes in from Paradise Lost.
Getting the job done is the goal, and we will be seeing Paradise Lost. They're coming out on the Ashe Junkrat composition here. Looks like Reminiscence are going to be sticking with this double shield composition they were running on the defense, now on attack. Looks like they want to try to go into this left room, but guess what? Neo has a giant frag launcher filled with grenades. It's just going to be spamming into that room, so it's going to be a little challenging for them. Try and get that sort of positioning. They are waiting for all their cooldowns to build back up before they make the move again into this mega health pack room. And you do see Paradise Lost. They've rotated a little bit, made sure that they are feeling comfortable in a good advantage position. And here comes the push coming out from Reminiscence. A massive dynamite coming out from the side of Lost, and he's able to get the kill on the DNA. Rigmondon also able to get the kill on the Glitch. You will be seeing Azukari fall here to the hands of Blood Hungry, but in the end, Paradise Lost has won the fight, and now that's about a minute burnt off the time bank here for the side of Reminiscence.
Yeah, honestly, with Reminiscence composition right now, the ones I'm really questioning is just Asdo on the Torb. If you're not going to set up the turret to take an off angle, because double shield, the way you're really supposed to attack it is force them to use their shields at the same time. Now, they got into that little bunker, and I know Junkrat can be a pain in the butt, but if you're able to rotate the shields around, like laying on top of each other, it shouldn't be a problem. But you know what? Here we go. They waited too long, and here's the tire.
Riptire does not get anything. A great immortality field coming out from Glitch there, being able to stop it in its tracks. But Lost was able to get a massive dynamite when they were pushing in. So now that Bob is online here for the side of Paradise Lost. Reminiscence are still going to push in. They have the window coming out here from Glitch, and they are not able to get any kills. DNA dies to the hands of Neo on that Junkrat, and the rest is history from there. Paradise Lost cleaning up the rest of the fight with the massive amounts of damage they had. Reminiscence once again back to the drawing board, and once again another minute is burnt off the clock.
Yeah, and right, I mean, Paradise is looking strong with this defense. And once again, I know Asdo is coming up on the Molten Core, but I'm still questioning this Tor pick right now. Maybe they're thinking it's a little extra poke damage on the shields and stuff, but like if you're going to do an offensive Tor, you really got to set up your turrets to get those off angles, to force the double shields or force the cooldowns to be used, try to keep from having a silly pick happen. And Lucy also on the break, they could switch over to a Zenyatta. I think would be even better for Reminiscence here. But I mean, they're coming up with the ults now. They got a minute and 38 seconds left. It's going to be one push, and then they're going to have to make some changes here. Otherwise, they're going to keep getting the same results.
It's going to be hard here for Reminiscence considering the enemy team has 6 ults, and Neo gets a 4-man tire. Oh my goodness, Neo pretty much got a 5K in that single fight. That was a very quick fight, and still, it cost a minute off of Reminiscence's time bank. We will be seeing the pause come out here as there seems to be an issue on one or the other side, but my goodness, Gizmo, I think that's going to be hard here for the side of Reminiscence.
Almost the 5K. Now, he did get the 5K there with the last pick, but you know what? It kind of came at a little cost there because they popped the window, they popped Bongo, and they popped Bob. That was 4 major ults there. So right now, if Reminiscence plays their cards right and paid attention to what ults were used there, they know that Glitch has another window coming up. They have Rally, so they have the Sustain ult. And they have Molten Core, so they have the Zoning ult right there. All that's going to be left is to make sure that they use Bongo correctly and then just push forward. But I think they did a good job changing which way they were going. Going that right side, it's a more wide open area, so you don't have to worry about the Junkrat spam as much. I know, but once again, they are running double shield there, so technically speaking, they should be able to just rotate those shields and, the Sigma eat one after another to be able to like move. But the problem is they're taking too long to do it, and that's probably where I think the Brigida's not too great here, and just and once again, I don't know if you're trolling us right now, but I mean, come on.
I mean, we'll see. It's
It's
going to probably be used for the future. It can work. It can work. Listen, if Comp has told me anything, it can work. But Reminiscence is going to be staggering out a little bit here. Concept got picked off by Neo here. We will be seeing DNA switch over to the Diva here. So probably a little bit more resistance here to that Junkrat of Neo, trying to make sure that Neo unable to get as much value as he got in that one fight. So we'll see what the move is here. They're going the left side again, Gizmo. You were talking about how they had a good approach with the right, but now they're going back to the left. So we'll see if it plays into the disadvantage here. All four ults being popped here, but that is a 6-man flux from Culture. The Immortality Field is there from Glitch, but the damage has pretty much been done. The rest of Reminiscence extremely low. Here comes the Deadeye coming out from Concept. It has to be big in these last second-ditch effort, but Reminiscence will be making their way to the point, and Azukari dies to the hands of Lucy. That is massive. Lost trying to build up a Bob as quickly as possible, but Concept has found Rigmadon. And now, all of a sudden, Paradise Lost is in a disadvantage. The Bob comes out here onto the point coming out from Lost, trying to do as much damage and trying to stall at that point, but Bob gets burnt down immediately by Blood Hungry. You will be seeing Paradise Lost. They're trying as possible to try and stall this out, and Lost has gotten 2 on the Ash, trying to bring it back here for Paradise Lost. It's looking possible here. Reminiscence, they're starting to stagger in a little bit. They only have 3 people alive, and the Tire's coming out here from Neo, trying to get rid of that Immortality Field early, and he will be able to. Gets 2 with the Tire. Glitch and Asdo have fallen, and Reminiscence, all that's left is Blood Hungry on the Orisa, and he's not hungry enough for blood to be able to get a 6-man kill. Paradise Lost will take the second map of the series and tie it up.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we can happily say not all 3 final matches will end in a 4-0. And once again, the Gizmo Curse just seems to be creeping its way around the corner. But hey, you know what? That was a great map. Neo, amazing job on the Junkrat. Once again, you know, there's a thing called insanity, and it's called doing the same thing over and over and over again, expecting different results. You had enough time, Reminiscence. You need to make the changes, okay? So, you know, like I said, who knows? Maybe they were trolling us, but I don't know. You never know what Capital tries doing, man. Maybe he was trying to come up with some new strategy. He's going to send the Owl like, hey, look at this. This works, you know?
Yeah.
But I mean, he's a big brain kid. So, but you know what? I'm happy for it because now we're going to go to map 3. It's not 2-0. It's 1-1, which means it's going to be a great night here for Tranquility. And I think that is what everyone's been wanting all season long, is to see a nice finals match just like tonight, where it's not going to be one-sided. It doesn't seem one-sided because, you know, we saw there on Lijiang Tower, it looked like it was going to be one-sided on Reminiscence, but then Paradise Lost. Guess what? They made some changes, and they had complete control of Anubis. I mean, 3 minutes and 45 seconds left on the clock when they finished their attack and just held that first point. You know, they were only, like, Reminiscence only got, what, about a tick and about 2/3 of a second tick, so kudos to them, man. They were able to get so many great picks there, and Neo is definitely the MVP for that map, where I'd say Lucy was the MVP for the first map. But now we're coming to, oh god, I almost made it through a whole season without having to cast this map. We're going to Kings Row next, ladies and gentlemen. Everyone's favorite map, although I'm starting to see a little bit coming from you know, top 500 players. They're like, oh, I'm so tired of Kings Row. So who knows? Maybe everyone's finally realizing it's not that great of a map, you know? Everyone just missed the Goats era. That's what it is.
That's probably what it is. Goats was dominant here on Kings Row, but we will be going to Kings Row next. This is Reminiscence's map pick. They are deciding now to swap Concept. Seraph is coming back in for Concept after that first map. Concept wasn't bad, but obviously they have a different strategy they want to run here on Kings Row. Paradise Lost, they are not making any swaps. They're sticking with the Culture Azukari tank line here for the third map, so we're going to see what the move is here from Paradise Lost. And I think it's interesting that Reminiscence was sticking onto that anti-dive attack for so long, because they were probably expecting the dive defense coming out from Paradise Lost, because that's what Paradise Lost has mainly been known for. Their strategy throughout this entire season has been run Culture on the Wrecking Ball and just cause havoc. But in that instance, they ran double shield. They threw a curveball at Reminiscence, and they just couldn't adapt. So we'll see what the plan is here for both teams coming into the third map. Will Reminiscence be able to adapt on the fly to Paradise Lost's strategies, or will Paradise Lost be able to throw a curveball again and get a second map in this series?
Well, I'll tell you what. this is definitely a strong map pick for them, especially when it comes to the hybrids, because everyone knows King's Row is a straight up grind map here, which we know Blood Hungry loves playing the German killing machine. You know, he's here to slay some dragons in England, going to show Tracer, you know, how it's done. But at the end of the day, they're going to have to go up against that Ball. And most people don't realize this. Ball is actually kind of not the best tank, but it is a very valuable tank you can play here on King's Row. But at the same time, you can also go double shield, which Culture's trying to mess with me here as I'm trying to say what they're going to do. But we're going to see that double shield coming out with Lars on the far again. So they're going to have low heals because Rigmadon is going to be on a Zen. All it's going to take is Blood Hunger getting into their face and just swinging away. Plus, Asdo is going to have some amazing walls. We're not going to see that Torbjorn anymore. We're going to see Asdo on their main. I think that's going to be a little difference here on King's Row.
We'll see what the move is here. Losh and Neo are going to be running their signature heroes. Last week, when they played against Quokka Queens, they brought it really close with this Pharah Hanzo DPS line. So I'm expecting great stuff out of them. I could be caster cursing them in the end of it, but we'll be seeing Paradise Lost make the slow engage into Reminiscence here. Reminiscence are deciding to try and stay in the hotel a little bit. You know, King's Row is a very good tourist attraction. It's always good to stay in the hotel while you're here, but looks like Paradise Lost are slowly making their way to the point. The first tick almost taken here, but the Reminiscence will take the engage, and that's a giant anti coming out from Rigmadon on both tanks, but Seraph gets the kill onto Culture, so now the first tank down for the side of Paradise Lost, and they are vastly disengaging. Rigmadon, however, caught on the wrong side of the road, and he's going to end up falling in the hands of Lucy. But Reminiscence, they're holding out really well with this Braum composition against this spam-heavy composition that we're seeing coming out from Paradise Lost.
Yeah, right now, if I'm Reminiscence, I'm going to play a little slower. Just because running this Pharah here, you're going to look for probably a nice barrage. You're going to try to look for maybe even nanoing Lars here on the Pharah. Because, you know, it would be good to get Azakar, but
ooh, no.
That pin.
Jeez. Blood Hungry just went straight for the backline. That pin was meant to attach, but it didn't. But still didn't matter. Able to get the kill into Rigmadon, and the rest of Paradise Lost will fall in the end. Azakari will get that kill into Lucy, but it won't matter. The frog is fast. You can't really stop a frog when it starts gaining momentum. But Paradise Lost, they're going to have to reset here, and already almost 2 minutes off the time bank for them, and they have yet to get a single tick here on King's Row.
Yeah, I think Lars is having a little harder time playing this Pharah, just because there's not as much cover you can hide behind as it is on Temple Anubis. Plus, Seraph is an amazing amazing hit scan, so it's probably making it a little harder just to keep the skies available when you got Cassidy just, you know, constantly poking at you.
Yeah, the Pharah has to try and play behind cover, and Seraph able to pick out Losh when he wasn't expecting it. Seraph also gets the kill on the Neo, so now both DPS dead for the side of Paradise Lost. The Deadeye coming out as well. Able to get the kill, and the Culture was frozen up by Asdo. Seraph gets 3 in that fight, and once again, Paradise Lost sent back to the drawing board, and now 1 minute and 30 seconds on the time bank left for them. They got to start coming up with answers.
Yeah. Their answers are probably going to try to zone them out with both the Minefield and the Dragons and hope that Rigmadon's Nano finds either Azukar or Lars and they were able to get valuable picks. That's what it's going to come down to here for Paradise Lost on this attack. Blood Hungry's got the Shatter available, so keeping the Ball and the Monkey in control won't be too hard. And you have Blizzard as well.
Ooh, the Dragon is massive over, splits apart Reminiscence, and Lucy gets caught in the crossfire. Blood Hungry dies at the hands of Losh after getting that amazing shatter off, but Paradise Lost cleaning up the fight. This barrage from Losh is just there for good measure. Asdo able to get the headshot kill onto him, but it won't be enough as he will be res back up, and just like that, Paradise Lost able to clean up the fight. Culture getting 3 in that fight, mind you, and that'll be Paradise Lost getting the cap here on point A, unless Reminiscence wants to come back in for a re-engage. Doesn't look like it, however, as they just all left the spawn room.
And just like I said, all they do is play it slow and wait for that nano, let Lars deal the damage, and then the tanks do finishing off. That's what's so good about Ball Pharah, is that you just let the Pharah do so much damage and Ball just sweeps it in.
Yeah, but Reminiscence, they're pushing heavy onto the backline here. They just go straight for the cart. Neo gets frozen and murdered immediately by Asdo, and Paradise Lost, they are trying to figure out how to approach this. Ira dies to the hands of DNA, but Seraph is able to Seraph gets killed here by Culture, so Reminiscence are in a big disadvantage. That's a massive anti-nade as well coming out from Rigmadon, but fortunately no follow coming out there, and Lost will die to the hands of DNA. It's really back and forth thus far. Paradise Lost are waiting for that perfect engage to try and push back into this, as Reds will go back up on the Lost here. Reminiscence, they're waiting by this corner. They do not have all 6 of their players, however, so Paradise Lost might be able to engage on this fast.
Yeah, this has been a really amazing hold coming here from Reminiscence. They're not afraid to stay in that little courtyard, because usually teams like to hide behind the choke. And look at that! Lars getting taken down once again after the 3rd barrage. I mean, Reminiscence looking strong here on Brawl's Road.
Yeah, Azukari able to get the kill on the DNA, however, so now one of the tanks is missing here for Reminiscence. He will fall to the hands of Seraph, however, on that Cassidy, but Reminiscence look like they're going to be backing up, or Paradise Lost look like they're going to be backing up here. Reminiscence get their first hold with 31.5 meters taken here by Paradise Lost.
So here's where Paradise Lost comp is going to have trouble. They're going to have to take a different route. They cannot go through this small little choke right into a Reinhardt. They're going to have to try to either go the back alleyways or maybe even split off and go one back alleyway and a couple going up top. They're not able to set up Culture, but ooh, Neo with a nice pick right there.
Neo gets the good headshot, but DNA eats the dragon. That is massive. Seraph able to get the kill on the Lost, but Lost gets the trade kill. The Shadow from Blood Hungry is a whiff, but still, Azukari, now Nano, trying to go into the backline here for the side of Paradise Lost, trying to do everything possible to try and split apart Reminiscence, trying to get them all into the advantage. Lucy able to invest that beat here, and Azukari in a rough spot right now will be able to get out with his life, and the mines come out here from Culture to try and separate the rest of Reminiscence. Reminiscence looks like they're just going for a slow disengage right now, but Paradise Lost will get the cart moving. They've already doubled their meterage.
Yeah, and that's actually very massive here. Getting the alley or getting the streets is very huge on King's Row. I mean, it's been a rough ride. They've had to play slow to get these ults here, and Neo's dragons have been massive. Not only is this player massive with the tires, but the splitting of the dragons and almost always finding one pick with them. Pretty nice.
He does it again. Does it again there. Azukari, however, finds everyone on the high ground. Another massive anti-nade coming out from Rigmadon, however, able to hit 2 members there. The Blizzard coming out here from Asdo, however, is going to separate the rest of Paradise Lost, but Reminiscence, they're still trying to stabilize here. Paradise Lost do have some ults if they want to try to use this, and it looks like they're just barely trying to bring this cart into the final area. Culture, however, will get frozen here on the Wrecking Ball. Here comes the bomb coming out from DNA, and it gets the main support of Ira. That is not what Paradise Lost needed right now. Paradise Lost still trying to bring it back here, but Reminiscence looking very clean, comfortable. The window comes out here from Glitch, but Lawrence finds 2 on the Pharah. Lucy able to get the final kill there. Now Azukari has pumped out the Primal Rage, trying to boop off everybody from the side of Paradise Lost, or Reminiscence off the card as Paradise Lost trying to bring it into the final point. Neo almost got a 3rd Dragon Strike off, but it got eaten by DNA. Again, DNA is extremely hungry off tank today, and just like that, Reminiscence will hold Paradise Lost right outside of the 2nd point.
Yeah, that was some amazing play coming out there from DNA. Getting 2 dragons, and like I was saying, Neo's getting very huge values. Even if they weren't finding like a nice like pick off of them, they were able to make so much space with it, and running a dive tank composition here on King's Row, having your DPS be able to create that space and help spread out, especially when you're going up against a Brawl, makes it easier for the Winston and the Ball to be able to engage. Plus, Lars just able to pump in so much damage on the far. But you know what? It wasn't like Lars was uncontested. I mean, Seraph had Lars' number for most of that round there, so it's going to be very interesting. I think we'll probably see maybe a double shield coming out here on Paradise Lost, or I was going to say, or the Ball Sig, because that is a pretty decent one. Once again, though, is King's Row, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not running Ryan, you're throwing. Words of Super himself.
Not always the case, my friend. Not always the case.
But hey, you know what? We did just see them run a dive pretty decently and was able to almost get that 2nd point. So now it's just going to be holding down, and they're running a Zenyatta Mercy here. They're running like that, you know, kind of interesting low heals, high damage comp that we saw in Owl in Season 3 towards the end of it. And it's a really good comp, and I think with their playstyle, it's going to work very well, because now they don't have to play slow, they can play faster and all that. It's just going to come down to Rigmadon hitting huge discords on Glitch or Lucy and just taking them down as quick, and hopefully them not getting walled off by Asda.
Well, it's going to depend on these dynamites coming out from Lost. She did an amazing job on the first map, on Temple of Anubis, getting all those dynamite picks on the attack here for Reminiscence. But now Reminiscence are going to be taking the high ground approach coming out here. They're just going to jump straight over right onto Paradise Lost's platform. And now Paradise Lost is already split. Azukari has fallen down to the low ground here. And Reminiscence has high ground control. They're just going to chase down the remaining of Paradise Lost. But Paradise Lost, they're trying to stabilize a little bit better here. They're trying to make sure that they look in a good position. Oh, but that wall on Azukari is massive, and Azukari will get burnt down immediately. Great engage coming out from Reminiscence. Now Culture trying to stall it out here on the Wrecking Ball. Azdo looking to freeze him as well. 2 Ice Cream tanks ready for ordering. DNA able to get the kill here onto Rigmadon as well. And Seraph gets the kill on the Neo, so you will be seeing Reminiscence get these kills and being able to win the fight here, as Reminiscence will get the first cap. And unfortunately for Paradise Lost, 2 of their teammates are back at the farthest spawn.
Yeah, but luckily Streets does take a minute, and they were able to get it down there to the end, so they are going to be able to recontest here. The unfortunate news is they don't have the ults they need. They're switching over to the Ana, hopefully get some huge anti-nades, because we saw Rigmadon do an amazing job on that attack. And Neo, going back to that Junkrat. So no longer will we see Hanzo terrorizing the streets. It's going to be this Junkrat that actually gave Reminiscence such a hard time on Anubis. It's probably not going to be the same here, because we do get to see Blood on the and DNA running the Rhine Diva here. But you know what? I got faith in Neo. They're going to pull through.
Yeah, Neo had this Junkrat before. It ran a lot of problems for the side of Reminiscence, but Reminiscence, they're just going to wall off Neo's damage. Make sure he doesn't get any value. Ira gets picked off here from Seraph, and that bomb comes out from Losh, but he dies to the hands of DNA. It's looking rougher and rougher here for the side of Paradise Lost, as looks like Reminiscence are just looking very clean heading near the golden box of victory. That Flux very delayed coming out from Azukari, unable to get any kills, doesn't afford us any ults except that Deadeye from Seraph. And Reminiscence, they're very close to the golden box of victory. Paradise Lost need answers quickly.
Yeah, and Reminiscence has more ults. I mean, this should be an easy win fight, because I mean, it's a free Blizzard, it's a free bomb. It's just, it honestly should be a free King's Row here.
Azdo goes straight for the backline, and Blizzard's Rigmadon in the back, and no one else is there for the side of Paradise Lost. They lost 3 people in that fight, and that was enough for Reminiscence to take the 3rd map in this series. And entering halftime, they are up 2-1 over Paradise Lost.
Yeah, and play of the game from the Lucio player themselves, Lucy. Not gonna see this too often, but I mean, what an amazing hold on the streets coming in from Reminiscence. What truly allowed them to, you know, make it an easy win here on Kings Row. And also, once again, proven that it really should be a Reinhardt map, but wow, Blood Hungry blocked a lot of damage, almost 20k damage there. So yeah. The pressure was on. It wasn't like Blood Hungry was able to swing freely the whole game, which that's pretty big considering you weren't running a Reinhardt into a Reinhardt. But Asdo didn't play the Tor, played the Mei, and look what happened, you know? So, but Seraph, I gotta give it to Seraph though. Keeping Lars in control that whole game was amazing, and DNA with the eats, oh my god, just massive. Reminiscence looked like they did on the first map on Lijiang, not what they looked like on Anubis. It's like these 2 teams were flipping, but hey, right now both teams are 100% for their map picks. So we could have that going like that. That's what we see. You know, I got to watch my own Chrysalis team do that against the Koala Kings in the semifinals last week. And it's awesome when these teams pick maps that they know they feel comfortable in and they play to their play style and they actually win them. That is massive right there. That's showing that they know what they're doing. They know what they want to play and they know how to play it. You know, sometimes we see games where one team has to pick every map because they can't win, but it's nice when you get to see this back and forth. So we'll see you guys after halftime, coming back onto our 4th map. See you in a bit.
for failure.
Welcome back to the Overwatch Tranquility Season 7 Discord Tier Grand Finals. If you've missed the match so far, for the first time coming back from halftime this week, we are not 3-0 after the half. It is 2-1 thus far. Reminiscence in the advantage as we head over to map 4. Paradise Lost have chosen for their map Watchpoint Gibraltar. And Gizmo, we were talking over the halftime break. I think it's safe to say that we were expecting this.
Yeah, I literally was telling you, I'm like, if I'm Paradise Lost, the one map I'm probably going to stay off out of the 3 choices is Dorado. I'd probably play either Route 66 or, right here, Watchpoint Gibraltar, because it plays into Paradise Lost's favor. It's more of a dive-heavy oriented map. Now, granted, you can make a Reinhardt work, you can make the Brawl work, but it's just a lot safer because, as everyone knows, all those beautiful coaches in the Overwatch League love to say control the blue boxes there on first point, and then it's just pretty much that from here on out until you get to the third point. There's no more blue boxes to control. But, you know what? I'm happy. I'm happy we got this 2-1 right now. I'm happy Paradise Lost is looking like an actual contender tonight and giving Reminiscence and Capital a run for their money here. I mean, they made them work for each map they've won. Both teams have been playing amazing, and we haven't just seen one particular player on any team pop off. I mean, sure, you can say Neo's been kind of the carry for Paradise Lost, and no shocker, we've seen Asdo be pretty much the carry for Reminiscence. But at the same time, it's not like much of a carry. It's like they're having their team contribute to the fights. I mean, we saw DNA eat 2 dragons. We've seen Lars put a lot of pressure. We've seen Azucar just helping a culture with the dives. It's been a very lovely finals match here in Discord Tier this week. So I'm looking forward to this map here on Gibraltar, and here we go. We get to see that classic ball Winston comp coming out, but this time we have Neo. Looks like they're going to be on the Echo, which everyone knows Echo is just any character you want to play, right? And we got Lars once again back onto that Ashe, and Lars has been getting amazing dynamites along with Rigdums on the Ana, which Rigdum's nades tonight have been so amazing. I swear Rigdum's been watching ML7 videos because, I mean, they're just perfectly tossed right behind the shield, so it's not even a matter. But this is actually interesting coming out from the side of Reminiscence. We get to see that Orisa kind of brawl here, where it's the Orisa Devo, but with an Ashe instead of a Cassidy. And Asdo running a Tracer. This is the first time tonight we've seen Asdo not run a Mei or a Torb. And I think this is going to be huge because Asdo's job here is going to try to be putting pressure on Culture as they're trying to dive in.
So now, you see Culture trying to dive in, boop off anybody on the high ground here for the side of Reminiscence. Asdo goes in to pressure him a little bit. Culture able to get the pile drive, but just runs right off. It's a little bit of business out here for the Wrecking Ball. You get stunned, you get CC'd, you back out somehow, you stay alive, and rinse repeat until the map is done. So we've seen Paradise Lost. They are pushing this cart through the car wash here on Watchpoint Gibraltar, trying to get as far as possible, but Asdo will be contesting the cart here. Azukari, the only person on the cart right now, but still, Reminiscence giving up a lot of space here with this Orisa Diva composition, and Paradise Lost is just pushing in very comfortably, just waiting for the perfect moment to dive in, and looks like Azukari has to make that engagement to try and get Asdo out. But so far, it's been a very slow engage here from the side of Paradise Lost. They're just waiting for the perfect time to engage here.
I mean, that's what they need to do here. They're running the Ana. They should be working on building up the ults here. And the thing what people forget about dive is not necessarily about moving the cart. It's about waiting for the opposite team to, ooh, that's a big dynamite, to make a mistake here. But you can't get caught out there, Neo, like that. You just can't get killed by the dynamite.
Good bubble coming out from Azukari to make sure that the res can go on to Neo here, thanks to Ira on that Mercy. But now Paradise Lost, they have no res online, but they are about to have some ults. They have this nano boost. They have the Bob, and they're about to have those mines as Azukari makes the first plunge in. Bob will be sent out as well, and the mines invested from Culture. No kills on either side, no blood being traded as the nano boost goes on to Azukari, diving into the enemy team, and he's able to find Lucy on that Brigida. Neo jumps into the fray, able to get the kill on the Glitch, and now Reminiscence, they're down 2, down 3 now with DNA losing his mech, and Paradise Lost, they're going to be comfortably pushing the cart here, trying to get that final few meters to get the first point here on Watchpoint Gibraltar. But Paradise Lost, losing Neo might be catastrophic. Blood Hungry uses that drum and is able to, and dies to the hands of Culture. but Concept able to get the kill into Lush, and so far it's back and forth, but Reminiscence might be in the advantage here because they have those closer spawns. As long as they touch the cart, they will be able to, but it's looking pretty close here. The supports are currently burning at the seams thanks to Lush's dynamite, but Reminiscence will get the stabilization here, and Paradise Lost will have to try and engage a little bit more. As I say that, Primordius comes out from Azukari. The bomb goes straight onto Culture, however, and is able to eliminate him. Concept gets the bob kill onto Neo, and now Reminiscence finally stabilize and will keep this card held right before the first point.
That was a very cool, calm, collected right there coming out from Blood Hungry, not, immediately jumping down as they were coming up to the high ground there. We're able to get Neo on the pick, and it slowed it down, but Hars getting the mirror matchup might be a huge advantage, especially with the copy coming out.
The copy onto the D.Va coming out here for Neo. The pulse bomb from Azdo is a whip, but Neo will be using that bomb right in the middle of Reminiscence, trying to get all those picks. Lars able to get the kill onto Glitch, and all that's left is Blood Hungry, Azdo, DNA, and now Lucy back on the Brigida. The rest of Paradise Lost trying to make the advantage, and Losh has found 2 in this fight thus far. Make that 3, make that about 4 right now here for Losh on this ass, trying to get a 4th onto Lucy. Will be able to, and now Paradise Lost cleaning up the rest of the fight. All they need to do is get rid of it. Of this pesky Tracer and D.Va, and they will be getting that first engage. Reminiscence is still trying to invest into this. They use the window here from Glitch, trying to keep everything stabilized, but Glitch dies at the hands of Azukari. DNA able to get the final kill as the bomb comes out here from the side of Losh, but the cleanup is there from the side of Paradise Lost, and all that's left is Azzo's pesky Tracer, who will fall to the hands of Culture, and that will be Paradise Lost getting the first point on Watchpoint Gibraltar. They're in the ship area.
Yeah, that was a really good hold there from Reminiscence, and even though they invested the window, it was for naught because Lars had to actually use the bob there at the end just to make sure they were able to get a decent amount of time here for the second point. Now, of course, all they have is Valkyrie, but that literally is the only ult on the board. Granted, though, Blood Hungry will be having bongos coming up, and you will have DNA with the bomb, and we've already seen what this bomb from DNA can do, so you just gotta wait for Azukar to pop that bubble, and then it's almost free real estate for Bomb to get a decent pick, or at least create enough space.
Blood Hungry getting antied is not good, and DNA loses his mech to Neo on that Echo. That is going to be catastrophic here for Reminiscence, as now they are down one of their tank players. The dynamite from Losh looks like it was a whiff. It might have gotten a little bit of damage, but you will be seeing Paradise Lost now making the engagement, and Neo has found the pick onto Lucy. In the backline is a horse. That is not what you want to see on your average single Overwatch day, but Neo trying to burn down Blood Hungry as much as possible, and that duplicate will get burnt down instead. Neo will die at the hands of Concept, but Paradise Lost are still winning the fight overall, and this red going to go cleanly onto Neo, and Paradise Lost will sail this cart into the second point as long as they deal with DNA quickly and effectively, and they will be able to. Now they got to do it Azdo cleanly and effectively, and it looks like they will be able to. And now Reminiscence Paradise Lost will get the second point here on Watchpoint Gibraltar. 2 minutes and 45 seconds to try and get the third.
Yeah, and I mean, talk about great staggers coming in from, the late spawn of point 2 there. And Culture is just popping off on this ball. I mean, honestly, if I'm Reminiscence, I might be getting off the horse here. I might be switching over to maybe, I wouldn't say Hog here because you got to worry about it, but yeah, I'd probably go over to Ryan. At least it's going to be a little less free diving state coming here because Horse is great and all, but Ryan is just so much better to go up against a monkey ball just because, guess what?
Oh, Losh gets that headshot kill on a Concept already as the fight begins. The bomb invested as well. Glitch dies to the mines, however. Here comes the bombs from DNA. Unable to get any value. Blood Hungry able to get the kill on the Neo, but Culture gets the kill, returning onto him. And once again, Neo is rezzed up. Deja vu, deja vu, deja vu. But you will be seeing now Paradise Lost. They are approaching the final territory here, trying to get this cart into the third point. Reminiscence need to start making some emergency swaps, and the bomb will be able to stall it out, so Reminiscence will have some time to come back.
Yeah, they do, definitely. And here, what another massive anti-nade onto the tanks, but Azdo able to finding 2. Oh my goodness, Azdo showing us they're not a 2-trick pony here.
Azdo trying to come back with this fight. Got 3 in this fight thus far. Blood Hungry will take away that 6K, unfortunately getting the kill on the Culture, but point still stands. Azdo gets a 4th. Might be able to get a 5th here onto Ira on the Mercy. Nope, he's going to end up retreating his life there, but still, Reminiscence, they get the hold here with 1 minute and 20 seconds on the clock. They had to make some full sale swaps, but they will be getting a hold here on Watchpoint Gibraltar. Now, what does Paradise Lost do for the push?
Right now, they switch over to a more poke composition, which is actually really good against Brawl, because it's like rock, paper, scissors. Brawl beats dive beats poke, poke beats Brawl, right? But if you allow the space to get like that, Brawl will be both because you cannot let them get in your face.
Still gets that first kill onto Rigmadon there early. Culture just punches Asdo back into the Shadow Realm there on that Sigma, but still, the damage has been done. Rigmadon is now trying to come back from spawn. Paradise Lost need to wait a little bit, but they're still willing to engage here. Here comes the duplicate coming out from Neo onto the Reinhardt. Blood Hungry see it double right now, but still, the damage is going to be there. The window from Blood Hungry is there to try and or the window from Glitch is there trying to negate any sort of damage, and Neo's almost done with his duplicate. He still is not close to his Shatter. He will get the charge off on the Blood Hungry, and the Shatter is a whiff, unfortunately. Now the Shatter from Blood Hungry gets Culture onto the ground. He gets frozen, stunned, CC'd, all to hell and back. It looks like he will be able to survive a little bit, and that is a 4-man assist coming out from the Ensto on the kill Culture, but still, the tanks from Paradise Lost are dead, and now it's looking very rough for them. They got to try to make a last-minute touch on this cart, but all of them are falling at the seams. Neo will make the touch, but it won't be enough as the rest of Paradise Lost has fallen, and that is all they're going to be able to do here on point C. 80.18 meters taken by Paradise Lost, and now they have to try and defend to make sure Reminiscence doesn't finish the map.
I mean, talk about major. They were doing absolutely amazing, taking their time on those dives, creating the space, getting the picks, but finally, once Blood Hungry switched over to the Reinhardt, it became so hard that they were forced to switch over to a double shield. That was too late. And I'm going to tell you right now, one of the scariest things you can see in Overwatch isn't double shield. It's when you see an Echo copy your Reinhardt and then you're going up against Orisa, Sig, and Reinhardt at the same time. You might as well call it GOATs at this point, folks. And GOATs was just, personally for me, who was a DPS player back in the day, it's just never fun, you know. But no, I think that was a really good push from Paradise. It was just an amazing hold there on the third point here. So it is still very winnable for both teams here. Typically speaking, that second point can be a roll through or it can be, you know, a hold. So if Paradise is able to hold them on second point, they should be able to do it. And who knows, maybe they'll be able to pull off a Chrysalis special, hold the last point for 5 minutes. Like, I'm telling you, man, those kids gave me heart attacks this season just because every time we came on Gibraltar, that's what you would see. They get absolutely rolled the first 2 points. There'd be 5 minutes on the clock, and they would hold that third point. So I'm hoping Paradise has it in their drive because, you know what, folks? I want to see them go to map 6. I'd love to see this to go to map 7. But whoever wins this, it's either going to be putting the pressure on Paradise or, you know, alleviating some of it depending on if they're able to take the dub on this map.
We'll see Reminiscence here coming out on the dive composition. They're running the Ball Diva with a Tracer Sombra, so obviously Culture's Ball has just been too much here for Reminiscence, so they're going to be running. This comp has really been favoritized by the Transcendence tier team Alpha, so we'll see if they're able to execute it to the fullest here on Watchpoint Gibraltar. Currently, Reminiscence just pushing that card a little bit. They're going to get it through the car wash here thanks to Concept on that Tracer, but Paradise Lost taking their time, trying to make sure they don't get any sort of big momentum here on this Ball Sigma composition. And the first hack gets onto Neo here from the side of Asdo. Blood Hungry goes in for the dive. Unable to get any sort of picks here, but we'll be seeing now Paradise Lost stabilizing a little bit, but they're already losing a lot of health here. Lost Neo falling very low, but they still are stabilizing. Blood Hungry will get the dive in, trying to get any sort of damage he can, but no kills thus far throughout the entire match, or the entire push here for Reminiscence, and looks like it's just going to be another waiting game for the first team to make a move, and Culture gets the pile drive shot and kill onto Asdo. Big move there from the Wrecking Ball from the side of Paradise Lost.
Yeah, because they're running the Brig Zen here instead of the Ana, unlike Paradise, what Reminiscence needs to do is go hard and go strong. So Aswin really needs to hurry up and set up on those hacks. But now they've got the room, they've got kind of a high ground control, so now it's easy. And plus, they were able to push the car for free, so even though they weren't getting picks, if you're moving the car, who cares about picks?
Yeah. Ooh, Lost with a massive headshot onto Concept on the Tracer. The Bob will be invested here from the side of Paradise Lost, and Glitch, wrong side, wrong place. He gets killed by Culture there, and the rest of Paradise Lost will be able to clean up the fight. Bob has to rest for a little bit. You know, those hacks are very sleep depriving, but you will be seeing now that Paradise Lost will be getting a hold here. 2 minutes on the clock here for Reminiscence, and they are coming up on some big ults here, Gizmo.
Yeah, they are. They have the Minefield set. They almost have EMP. They have their second pulse coming up. But what's really going to be important is, you know, Glitch being able to pop that Transcendence in and hoping that Rigmadon does not get a massive nade, which we've seen from them all night long. That's the only problem when you're running these two supports of Brig Zen is you have nothing to really answer that anti-nade.
Exactly. So we'll see what the move is here. They do have that Diva of DNA to eat the anti-nade if he's lucky enough, but we'll see what the move is here. Paradise Lost sitting very comfortably here on the high ground, and the EMP only catches Azukari, but Azukari is enough. It gets burnt down immediately by Azdo. Both mines used on both teams, and Lucy dies to the hands of Culture. Paradise Lost not barely able to touch that cart in time, and they don't touch the cart! That was wrong! They skunked off the cart at the wrong point. Paradise Lost give up the first point here by not stepping on the cart at the right time. Now, Reminiscence, they're looking clean. 3 minutes and 30 seconds, and they are pushing into point 2.
Yeah, it's still a very, not truly decided map here because they still can go either way. But right now with these late picks that we're seeing coming in from Reminiscence is going to be huge on this second point here. This was something we didn't get to see from Paradise Lost just because they had to do a full team wipe in order to get the first point here. They weren't lucky enough to catch a, sleeping C9 there, but it's all right. They still have the time. They now have the ult advantage because we did see DNA have to pop the bombs or get remag after they already caught it. So all they have to do is get a nice copy flux and maybe even a big bomb again.
Bob put into the small room right in front of the supports, and DNA on the Diva will get melted down here by DNA, so good response there from Reminiscence. They had to use the rally for that, however, so it's going to be interesting to see what the response is here from Paradise Lost. Looks like Reminiscence setting up in the ship room. Neil will be getting the duplicate here on the Diva, and that's a 6-man EMP coming out from Azdo. Oh my goodness, there are children watching, my man. Well, you will be seeing the bomb coming out here from Neo, trying to get any sort of value. Won't be able to get anything. It will get hacked. No remake available for Neo, and Reminiscence just gliding into the second point with the ult that they've been able to use. The nano boost comes out here from Rigmadon onto Neo, trying to get as much damage as possible, but Culture dies to the hands of Glitch, and it's all for naught here for the side of Reminiscence. This flux will come out here from Azukari, but will get hacked out of it mid-flux. Oh my goodness. Reminiscence cleaning up the floor here as they will be getting the second point. 3 minutes and 30 seconds again on the time bank, and now Paradise Lost heading into the third point. They're starting to make some wholesale swaps.
Yeah, it's that time, but hey, you know what? They still have some room because they were able to push it past that bridge, and that's such a massive play here on the third point. Now they're going to have to pull out what I like to call the Crystal Special, and that's hold a team for a very long amount of time and not too much room to play with. That was a great EMP coming from Asda, which was definitely the win condition, because if you get all 6 people, it's just everyone needs to pick one target, focus it, and then it should just be a collapse for the team that got EMP'd here, and that's what we saw. Now it comes to these switches. We're going to see that Orisa come out, so we're going to see how the Orisa fall. Culture does have the minefield, so they can get split. And by the way,
a 4-man EMP now from Azdo. Sorry to interrupt you there, but still, good EMP coming out from Azdo. Now Reminiscence, they weren't able to enact on that. They probably didn't have, because they didn't have their ball blood hungry. But the mines in the small room for Culture, already able to eliminate Lucy. Concept dies at the hands of Neo on the Torbjorn, and the cleanup is there from Paradise Lost. They will be getting the hold here. DNA will get staggered out here on this baby Diva, and that's going to be a reset here for Reminiscence as Paradise Lost will get their hold.
Yeah, that was massive. Those switches were great. Now we see Culture
Oh
switching.
no!
Oh, Asdo, can't get whip shot like that, my man. But that was great. But we've seen both teams just make really great swaps there at the end. Now there's 2 minutes left. Unfortunately for them, though, that is plenty of time considering where they got the card at. Concept does have a pulse available, and as long as they're able to get Rigmadon, with it could be a game changer because right now that Rig, Shield Bash, and Whip Shot is going to be massive for them.
Rally and bomb push in. Azukari able to keep themselves alive with a very well-timed shield, but Neo already gets the kill on the Concept here. DNA able to get the return kill on the Neo, however. Reminiscence starting to push forward, and they've already found Iron Rigmadon. No supports left on the side of Paradise Lost as Reminiscence trying to end this here and now. Culture in the back line, able to get the kill onto Lucy, so it's still winnable here for the side of Paradise Lost, but Lost dies immediately to the hands of Blood Hungry. Now the Golden Box of Victory in sights here for the side of Reminiscence as they're trying to push themselves over the line. Concept gets a very sneaky Coastbound kill onto Rigmadon, and the Molten Core from Neo is shut down immediately. Reminiscence looking very clean, and that is going to be Reminiscence taking Watch Point Gibraltar. We are going to match point here in the series. Reminiscence 3-1 over Paradise Lost. They need one more map to get the championship.
That was an amazing Watch Point Gibraltar there. The switches were made. Unfortunately, though, I think it was just follow-up coming in from Reminiscence there that allowed them to get this point, and a little slight mishap on first point. But I'm going to testify that I think the problem was it wasn't that they wanted to C9, they were kind of forced to, because Blood Hungry's minefields on both points were just such good zoning for allow them for an easy push. So good job from the
Yeah.
main tank of Reminiscence right there. It's not very easy to make balls, ultimate useful, and he was able to put it not just useful, but to the ultimate amount of use you can get from it.
Definitely. So great job there from Reminiscence to be able to take Paradise Lost's map pick, and now Paradise Lost are put in a dire situation right now. They get to choose the 5th map, which will be a control map, but this could be the last map of their Overwatch Tranquility season here. This could be the map that decides the series, that could decide a champion, or it could decide if you're going to have to suffer through 7 maps. But we'll have to see what their map choice is here coming up. But what would you think is their best choice for control?
Oh, I'm trying to remember. I always get lost on what maps are left when it comes to control. So there
I have them for you. They are Busan and Ilios.
Busan and Ilios. Personally speaking, for what they're running, I think maybe Busan, because you can get away with a little more 6-man on Busan, a little more dive than you can on Ilios. Ilios and Nepal, when it comes to the King of the Hill maps, they're more brawl heavy oriented, and that's not coming from me, ladies and gentlemen. That's coming from the British Hurricanes coach himself, John. So if I was them, I personally think I'd pick Busan, just because you have a little more room for dive characters. You have a little more open space to run those characters. Plus, Pharah can be very huge on Busan. Ilios, she can be good too, so they could tend to go Ilios. I don't think either choice is bad, but personally speaking, I think Busan would be the better concept. It's going to be more down to making sure that you take either downtown or Sanctuary first, and just play your hardest and hope you take Mecha Base, but you got to take one of those other 2 first, and then you can give up Mecha Base if you need to, because Mecha Base is definitely brawl oriented out of the 3. So if I was them, Busan. I know these teams way too well. I know exactly what they're picking, man. We are going to Busan, so.
Yeah, Paradise Lost had picked Busan as their next map, and I am questioning this map because last week these 2 teams faced off, or Paradise Lost faced off against Quokka Queens. Paradise Lost was even with Quokka Queens 2-2 heading into map 5. The choice Paradise Lost made for map was Busan. They lost Busan and gave Quokka Queens match point. So, this is a very questionable choice in my book, but I think if any team is going to be able to pull out the win here, it's going to be Paradise Lost. So, we will see what their move is here for the side of Paradise Lost. We'll see if they're able to pull out the win here, but Reminiscence trying as hard as they can to be able to bring home the trophy here. It's going to be interesting. You said you have to take either Sanctuary or downtown, and then Mecha Base has to be a throw in the air. So we're going to see what the move is here from Paradise Lost and if they're going to be able to make it work.
Now, I will say this. I did say that they could play far on these maps, but we do have Seraph coming back in, and Seraph was doing a great job controlling Lars on that Pharah here. But typically speaking, you don't really run the Pharah comp here. You usually run mostly 6-man, and then Mega Base, you go to, dive. Now, on Sanctuary, you can run the 6-man, you can run Brawl, you can also run a ball comp, which we know Culture is comfortable on, which means we can throw Neo or Lars on a Tracer and the Pharah or an Echo, and they can try to control as much base as possible, but it's going to be very difficult to do that. So really, it's going to really come down to that 3rd map. So as long as Mega Base isn't the first map, it's going to come down to the 3rd map. But that's just it, though. It's one of those things when you have a map like Busan where you don't know which section you're going to get first. It's always going to be that coin toss. It's the same thing with Ilios, Lijiang, and all that. Some teams are better at night market. It really all depends on the luck of the draw here. It's a rock, paper, scissors for you. And you might be throwing scissors and the map gives you rock. It might give you paper. So it's going to really come down to it. And I'm hoping it's not Mecha Base first. And it's not. It's downtown. Look at that. Luck of the draw, right? So here we go. We're going to see how well they're going to do here on the 6-man. Lucy doing a little joke before the map was locked in because you get to see the characters prior to it. But yeah, I think we're going to probably see a 6-man coming out. Brawl isn't bad on all 3 maps, but at the same time, it is just better to run a dive composition or a ball on downtown. So I think as far as the way these teams are playing, who's better at what, I think this was definitely a good choice for Paradise Lost.
Now, I will mention, when I saw this, I was casting the match last week with Paradise Lost and Quokka Queens, and this map was the only time we saw Paradise Lost pretty much, like, this was the first map that we saw Paradise Lost pretty much run a comp that seemed meta for the map. And there's no different here. Right now in the spawn room, they are showing that 6-man dive with the Winston, D.Va, Reaper, Sombra, Moira, Lucio. Same thing on the enemy side over on Reminiscence. So now it's just a battle of the mirrors. Which team takes the advantage here on Busan? Will it be Reminiscence getting the championship or Paradise Lost getting the upset, trying to bring it even further? We'll see what the move is. As Paradise Lost trying to make their very quick engage here already, taking that Mega very quickly. They did get the first, I think they got the first hack onto the help back in there, so we'll see what their plan of attack is here as they're waiting their way onto the point. There is a little bit of stall coming out here from the side of Reminiscence. They do have first control, and Azukari gets killed by Lucy. Culture, however, able to boof off the Reaper of Sorrow, so now that main damage coming out from Reminiscence is no longer there. See what the response is here from Paradise Lost.
Ooh, that was a nice boop. And Lucy, I mean, honestly, Lucy is a 3rd DPS here for Reminiscence. Just finding a DPS like that, oh, this Lucio can do no wrong.
Yeah, absolutely. Reminiscence will be getting the first cap on this. The bomb coming out early here from Culture, unable to get any kills, however. Tries to go for the remech, doesn't get any sort of style points there, and will lose his mech in the process. Rigmadon gets hacked as well by Asdo, and it looks like you're going to be seeing Paradise Lost. We'll have to retreat from this very quickly here as Reminiscence, they're just taking all the control. Seraph going on a tangent here with this Reaper. Got 2 in that fight in the disengage from Paradise Lost, but Paradise Lost have to retreat. Reminiscence counting up.
Yeah, and you know what? Honestly, though, even though Lars had to accidentally fell off that first engagement and had to back out quick, already built the EMP. So right now, they can win this next fight as long as they EMP first, but they got to make sure they get Lucy in it because, I mean, the way Lucy's been playing, if I'm Paradise Lost, I got to think that Lucio has it.
5-man EMP, unable to get Lucy, but the barrier only able to get 2 in it. Paradise Lost able to profit off of that. They get 3 kills from that EMP, and that is massive engage here for Paradise Lost. They haven't used any other ults yet, and it doesn't look like they're planning to as they get the final kill here onto DNA. Lucy able to get the kill onto Rigmadon. That Reddit Lucio skill showing at its prime right now, but you will be seeing Paradise Lost get the cap. 58% taken here from Reminiscence.
You know, honestly, though, that's pretty big coming out from Paradise Lost. Not only were they able to get a clean EMP, Lucy was not there for the beat drop, but now they got to worry. Asdo has their EMP up. They're about to have Sarah's Death Blossom. You got to think Death Blossom coming in here?
Oh no! Rigmadon used the beat to try and counter the EMP, but it got nobody on the side of Paradise Lost, and Reminiscence just take the point immediately. Neo will get the Death Blossom up, able to get Lucy in the aftermath, and Seraph unable to get any with his, but Blood Hungry gets 3 with the Primal Rage, make it almost 4 there. Azukari gets the kill onto Seraph, but that's not going to be enough here for Paradise Lost. Reminiscence being able to bring it back with Blood Hungry's massive Primal Rage, and now 80% for them. They're looking clean and collected, but they have no ults.
And talk about unlucky for both teams. The EMPs came out, and the Lucios were not even close enough to get the beat drops off on their team. And oh my goodness, though, that Primal from Blood Hungry finally showing that he's not just a Ryan one trick, and I love it.
We'll see what the move is here. 4-man EMP coming out from the side of Paradise Lost. They are not able to touch the point here. Neo gets the kill into Asdo, gets the kill on the glitch as well. Make it 2 for that Reaper. Make it 3 for that Reaper. Neo trying to bring it back, but Neo gets a double remake kill with the D.Va. That is massive. That could be the turner of a tide. Neo able to get the kill onto Lucy. That's the 4th one this fight. Now trying to get the 5th onto DNA, but Paradise Lost, despite losing 2 in that fight from that remake, they will be able to bring back the point in their favor. 22% for them, but 99% for Reminiscence. All they need is 1 clean fight.
I mean, that was a very nice fight coming from them. Lars was able to build a second EP very quick, got it off, and they were able to capitalize on it once again. So right now, this downtown really doesn't look like it's a matter of who's better at running the 6-man. It's a matter of just when the EMP comes out, which is really awesome. And Azo, oof.
He got the hack onto Rigmadon manually, and Neo dies in the aftermath as well. The bomb from Culture has to be used. It's able to get glitched, so that could be big. And he gets the remake kill onto Lucy. No supports here for the side of Reminiscence, but the side of Paradise Lost falling at the seams. Losh and Culture get hacked in the aftermath. Losh unable to use that EMP, and Culture gets demech. Rigmadon is back in the fight on the Lucio. Gets hacked manually once again, trying to get anything he can, but Neo's back here on the Reaper, being able to stall it out, and somehow, some way, Paradise Lost are in the advantage in the fight. Reminiscence, they're trying to push in. Azukari on the primaling Winston in the backline here for Reminiscence, trying to make sure he separates any of the team members, and Paradise Lost, they will win that fight. Now they're in last fight territory to try and take the point.
And that was massive. Plus, they just launched the 30 EMP.
Very early EMP, Blood Hungry and Asdo are caught by it, but no kills are resulting. Neo able to get the kill on the Blood Hungry. That could be massive here, as Reminiscence now need to reset here. They don't have their main tank with them, and will they be able to have them before the next fight?
No, they won't. It's going to be. They're going to have to push here in about 4 more seconds just to be able to get that OT clock going. So yeah, they're able to get it, luckily, but you know.
Zo's there, gets the hack onto Ira immediately. The Blossom comes out from Neo, unable to get any sort of value as Glitch uses the Coalescence on the point. The EMP only gets DNA from the side of Lost, but still able to get a lot of value. DNA able to use that bomb here, and the flip goes over to the side of Reminiscence. Azukari now dead to the hands of Asdo, and Culture no longer has his mech for the next fight. DNA gets the kill onto him. Now Reminiscence looking clean, trying to bring this back after losing the point quite a long time ago, but it looks like they're going to be able to do it. The Coalescence here from Ira is a last-ditch effort, but will not be able to get any sort of value. That is going to be Reminiscence winning here on downtown, and now they're in map point.
Oh, this is going to be very difficult, because now if it does go to Mega Base, which I'm pretty sure in the rotation it probably will, it's going to be very, very hard, because one thing we haven't seen Paradise be good at, they got, once again, looks like luck might be on their side here as we go to Sanctuary. But what I was going to say was, they haven't been able to, out-brawl Reminiscence here, so they got very lucky here. They still have a chance to hold on to life, but they got to take it, and we're going to see a double bubble? Ooh, interesting. With a Torbjorn. Okay.
So it looks like they're running a defensive-heavy double bubbles, so that's going to be interesting. Meanwhile, on the side of Reminiscence, once again, the 6-man dives, so we'll see what the plan of attack here. Now, the question is, real quickly, Gizmo, who takes the point first?
Easy. As long as they get set up first, it should be Paradise Lost, because that turret should be able to, keep Asdo from getting nice hacks, and they should be able to get point presence and light. That's what we're seeing right now. You're going to have to make rotations. The difference between these composition is one is going to be playing for the nano play and slow, while the other one's just going to be playing for the hack, or just making it like a, queen rush and just jumping one target.
Reminiscence, they tried to go for a dive target, and no one was there for the dive target focus, so they were unable to use anything for those cooldowns. Paradise Lost setting up comfortably on this point. They will be getting that first cap, as you said. They were able to stabilize, get the point first, but now you see that Paradise Lost, they need to try and wait here for the dive coming out from Reminiscence, and Reminiscence ready, cooldowns offline, they're starting to make the engage. Here comes the first push here, trying to push onto Azukari on that Winston, but unable to get any pressure. Now Reminiscence setting themselves on the point. The lamp comes out here from Ira. The Deadeye already built up from Losh, and is already able to get glitch on the Moira. That is massive coming out from Paradise Lost, but Azukari hacked, burnt to the ground by Blood Hungry there, and Reminiscence will be getting the flip in this fight. Now Blood Hungry is dead to the side of Culture, and Lucy dies in the hands of Losh. Just like that, Paradise Lost, they lost a point, but they won the fight in the aftermath. 9%, 10% maybe taken here from Reminiscence, as now Paradise Lost still continue. 25% for them on Sanctuary.
Yeah, no, this cop with the Torbjorn is actually pretty massive when it comes to the 6-man, because it doesn't allow clean dives. What Reminiscence needs to do here is wait for Asdo to get in position and then take out the turret, so that way Asdo can be a little more clean when trying to hack somebody, right? Instead of having to worry about an auto turret ability, just catch them out.
Now Glitch makes the advantage here with the Coalescence, and Sarah able to burn down Azukari. The grab coming out from Culture, trying to burn down Blood Hungry, and the EMP comes out from Asdo, able to get a lot of players, including Culture, who dies to the hands of DNA, and Paradise Lost. In that meantime, they lost a point here. The hack goes on to Ira now, so now no exo boots or anything there. Sarah cleans up the fight with that Death Blossom, and Reminiscence might have been a little overinvestment of ults, but they will be getting the point and start taking up 51% for Paradise Lost.
Yeah, I think that's actually a good win fight for Paradise, because they don't have to worry about either DPS ults, they don't have to worry about beat, and they don't have to worry about co. Ooh, that's not good though. You can't get picked that early.
Nope. Reminiscence just went hard, aggressive right into the front line of Paradise Lost. They pretty much did the touch spawn doors challenge. Except they weren't able to get that far. They just went straight for the mini area. But still, getting that pick on the culture is massive early.
Yeah. Now they have Bomb. They have Primal coming up. So they have a little bit of leeway to stall Reminiscence. But I mean, you've got Deadeye, you've got Window, and you've got Nano here. It's looking very good and winnable for... Ooh, never mind, I'm gonna stop.
Please stop. Yep. Caster Curse just happened. DNA got 2 with that Diva Bomb, and now the cleanup is there from the side of Reminiscence. Lost does get 2 in that fight, but it's not going to matter. Now Reminiscence, 75% of the point. They're going to the last fight territory, Gizmo. This could be big.
That was so unfortunate. Not only did they get 2 with the bomb, but Era also invested the window. If they just saved it, they could have used it in this next fight. Now it's going to be huge for Rigmadon to find Azukari and get a massive pick with the Nano.
Still has the EMP, so we'll see if it's able to be used. 3 people caught. Nick, Culture, Neo, and Lost. And Culture dies immediately. Azukari able to get the Nano boost, however, so he's able to stay alive here on the point, but still it's looking very rough here. The Deadeye comes out from Lost, able to get Seraph, but Azukari dies. Almost! Paradise Lost almost didn't touch the point, but they're able to just barely. Neo now with the Molten Core, able to kill Lucy there, and Paradise Lost stabilizing once again the point. Culture switch over to his signature ball, and it looks like you will be seeing Paradise Lost take back the cap. 99% for Reminiscence, 55 for Paradise Lost.
I mean, ooh, that was way too close. But you know what? It's good that they're able to keep it. Azukari didn't have to invest the Primal, so they will have an ability to stall a little longer, especially now that Culture is running the ball instead of the Zarya. It's just going to be, they have to get picks quick as possible. They have to make sure that Era and Rigmadon aren't caught alone, because all it's going to take is one nice little 6-man dive onto one of those supports, and it's game over for Paradise.
See what the move is here. Paradise Lost, they make the gauge early here when Azukari gets melted down already to half health. Culture's hack on the Wrecking Ball. Azdo makes the big play. That could have been the play that wins Reminiscence the championship. Now, Reminiscence trying to push forward. They've already got the kill into Ira. And that Death Blossom from Sarah gets 2 once again. Reminiscence cleaning up the remainder of the fight. Azukari will be the last to fall. And Paradise Lost will not win this championship. Reminiscence will be your Season 7 Discord Tier Champion.
You know, I have to give Paradise some credit right there. They tried a very interesting comp there, and it seemed to work. It was just unfortunate accidents that cost them it, and a little over-investing in ults. But we saw, I mean, heck, we saw this. But this play right here from Blood Hungry, oh my goodness. It's very rare you get to see a nice double move, triple kill coming in. And you know what, though? Azukari was able to find Seraph too there at the end, so both Winston's amazing. Tonight was just a phenomenal way to end Season 7 as far as the playoffs go, ladies and gentlemen. But Tranquility's not quite done yet, are we? Now, next week we do have our All-Star games coming in, and I'm so looking forward to it because all 3 of my kids in Harmony were able to make it onto the All-Star teams. So it's gonna be a fun time.
Absolutely. All-Stars is a great time to be able to flex that fun creativity side of everybody. And we had a lot of All-Star candidates here in our match today. I mean, Glitch, Blood Hungry, Azdo, if you liked Azdo throughout the entire series, Seraph, you did see Losh and Culture as well. They were also on the All-Star lineup. But now, as I usually do here for our cast, we did finally choose a Discord tier champion, Gizmo. But I want to know your Discord tier championship match player of the match.
Ooh. You know, part of me wants to be a little biased and give it to my kid Seraph, but it's so hard. But I'm gonna have to give it to Lucy, man. Lucio tonight was just absolutely phenomenal, and I mean, honestly, was the difference in early fights, which was what allowed Reminiscence to control the Kings map so nicely. And you know, you could give the Azdo, but I'm telling you right now, Azdo staying on that Torbjorn through Temple of Anubis for Reminiscence, so I can't do Azdo. So I'm gonna have to give it to Lucy here. Blood Hungry was amazing, obviously, and I mean, you really could pick anybody tonight because, like I was saying earlier, everyone contributed so much to each map. But I'm gonna have to give it to Lucy just because I love seeing Reddit Lucios and actually not only redditing, but still being valuable, even though they were a little late to the party with the B drop, but their counterpart was also late to theirs. So, but yeah. What about you?
For me, I am giving it to someone who I actually didn't get to see despite casting Reminiscence earlier this season. I'm giving it to the main tank of Reminiscence. Mr. Blood Hungry was an absolute menace. Blood Hungry definitely does a good job, does justice of specifying how well he did here today. The Reinhardt, the Winston, the Orisa, he did well through all sorts of means, and I got to give my player of the match for the Discord Tier Championship match to the one and only Blood Hungry for Reminiscence. Reminiscence, congratulations! You join your organizational team. Flashbacks in the championship circle for the Overwatch Tranquility Season 7 Championship title. So it was a great season for Reminiscence. This was their first map loss in this series. Their first map loss since week 3. So they actually did really well. On the other side, Paradise lost such an amazing dark horse season altogether. We did not expect them to see them here in the finals, but they were able to clutch it out against Quokka Queens last week, and they got that map win against Reminiscence. It looked pretty close, but at the end, Reminiscence had that final clutch factor. But that is it. The season of Overwatch Tranquility is over, apart from All-Stars and the Iris podcast, which will happen next week. And honestly, it's been a bittersweet season. It's been a really fun season, but in the end, all things must come to an end. So, for our amazing producer, Cavalier, for Gizmo Charmander, who I had the absolute pleasure of working with in the casting booth here today, my name has been Bowsy. Until we meet again, have a great night.
hold my hand, fly